Welcome back, once again adventurers, to Let's Play Robotics Notes Lead. In the last episode, the maiden voyage of Super Gunbuild 1 was officially underway with Kaito Yashio as the pilot and everyone else as support for Super Gunbuild 1. Though smooth is hardly the word that I would use to describe this occasion, because even though Super Gunbuild 1 is a bit faster than it used to be, regular-wise, there are still a few issues, namely the impact as Super Gunbuild 1 takes each step, which has been hell on hell on Kaito's nervous system. But the second pile bunker has been attached, and a bit of testing has been done along the way as well. And on top of that, Frau has been doing her best to autocorrect many of the adjustments to try and make the journey to the TNSC a bit more manageable. Speaking of which, we are actually here at the TNSC, and we've currently halted thanks to none other than Akio. My shoulders are stiff. I've lost almost all sensation in my arse. Repeatedly inputting the same command for hours isn't hard, but the shaking is really getting to me. But finally, after nearly 5 hours, we've arrived. How the real operation begins. It's almost as if it's almost as if they're waiting for us. Either that, or they no longer have any need of the actual TNSC center itself, but rather all they need is to secure the first Osaki office area. I think, but yeah. Stealth and subtlety isn't really the forte of Super Gunbuild 2. And I actually wager that the enemy would have actually seen us approaching and heard us long before that. But the fact that they're not here to greet us is still a worrying sign. The gate to the Osaki Launch Complex has always had a guard. Entrance is forbidden for unrelated personnel. We are at the Osaki area. But right now there are no guards. The gate is wide open. They didn't think to... Then again, yeah, it makes it harder to root them out. Up ahead waits Mizane and Ko Kimijima. Or maybe not. Again, it's... Are they trying to bait us out? I thought to myself, but no. The time for pretense is past, it seems. It looks like they've been, yeah. Obviously they were expecting us, but they don't intend on dragging us out any longer. We do. The rocket loaded with the BHP is supposed to be launched in less than 30 minutes.
ほんの2ヶ月前にはここで私たち2号機くんを作ってたんだよね。
2 months, huh? Tanaki still remembers what happened to Gumboot at the expo. She won't forget. It was also where the club actually came together as a club. All the hard work that they put into Gumboot to do is up to nothing. And then we got kicked out after it was revealed that the TNSC would be launching its first rocket in years. Only for them to eventually discover, the truth about that rocket. I never even dreamed back then that we'd be returning here like this. Yet, the return we have. Talk about a twist of fate. Or besides. To be honest, I'm pretty fired up, especially since Misaki is already prepared for us.
天王寺です。
Eyes on comms.
ナイさん、そっちの状況はどうですか？監視員と合流、配置につきました。
So far, so good.
それと、詳細な X 時刻が分かりましたよ。X 時刻は12時27分00秒。
27 minutes past noon, eh?
繰り返します。X 時刻は12時27分00秒。あと30分ちょっとですね。了解しました。
Yeah, we always knew the window was going to be short.
結構時間ギリギリだったね。
Really were cutting it close. If we'd spent even another hour on maintenance and refinement, we would have made it in time. We're lucky to get what we have. We're also fortunate that the enemy didn't attack us along the way. Then again, that wasn't their objective. Looks like Mizune and her team are focused on defending the launch site. Yeah, they were waiting for us to come to them rather than expend their efforts trying to defeat us along the way.
スーパーガンツク1が交戦開始したら、こちらも突入します。ロボ部員の皆さん、健闘を。
They'll try to go after as many of us as they can, but as long as they don't notice Nai and her operatives, at the very least, I'll have that now.
ナイさんたちもご無事で。オーキードーキー。
Okie dokie, Nai. I take a deep breath. We're on the precipice of the edge of chaos. I stretch my arms out wide to loosen up my body. They're gonna get even more tense. I bend and extend my knees in the narrow cockpit. Nobody said anything since Nai's report. Even Michi puts a lid on his pro tips. With the decisive battle ahead of us, everyone is probably nervous, doing their best to calm their hearts and minds. But that last hurdle is just ahead of us. To be honest, I kinda hoped some adults would step in and save the day. I mean, military and police exist for stuff like this, right? On top of that, Sawada never got back to us. I guess the anti-Kokimajima virus didn't make it in time. Regardless, out of everyone on Earth, the only people in any position right now to stop the rocket launch is us. We're the only ones who made it here. People making up the Robotics Club of Tanegashima. There's no turning back now. We can't stop here. We need to see this through. The end. There's only 30 minutes until that rocket launches, leading to the deaths of 5 billion people. In that half hour, the fate of all humanity will be decided. We're cutting it real damn close. This is our last chance. Yeah, our last ditch attempt. But I couldn't care less about that. Obviously. If I focused on that, I'd never be able to beat Mizune. And I will defeat her. I'll become number 1. The best in the world. That's my one and only victory condition.
Iga, yoku kike omaera.
The first to open his mouth and break the silence is our very own delinquent advisor.
緊張をほぐすためのとっておきの豆知識を先生が教えてやるからな。手のひらに人っていう字を3回書いて飲み込むんだ。
God damn it, Michi.
それ豆知識でも何でもないよ。
何にせよ、あんまり無様なところ見せんなよ、ヤシオ。
Despite how he is, even Michi is taking this very damn seriously.
今な、先生の生中継、世界中の人が見ててよ。
Way to put us on the spot.
日本語だけじゃなく、英語やらフランス語やらポルトガル語やらアラビア語やらで応援メッセージが大量に来てやがる。
Wait, what? First I've heard of it. And again, this is Michi we're talking about. He's live streaming the other stuff as well.
ま、要するに世界はお前らの味方だってこった。
Are they really? We can't check our Pokeball since it's what's powering the monitor right now. Never mind. And we did not that we would have time to see it anyway. Akio's expression grows serious.
みんな準備はいい？
As ready as we'll ever be.
作戦通りにやればきっと勝てる。
We don't need words anymore. I can tell just by looking at everyone's faces through my Pokecom. We're ready.
アキちゃん、号令を。
あきほちゃん。部長先輩。
部長。
アキちゃん、
It's all on you now, Akio.
よーし、スーパーガンツクマン突入せよ。
In other words, prepare for battle. As I advance up the gentle uphill slope, my field of vision suddenly widens. There it is. There's one of the targets. Rockets carrying the black hole bomb payload. But that's Nye's objective. This is the Osaki Launch Complex, the place where countless rockets have been launched. Despite the absurd situation we find ourselves in with the fate of humanity on the line, I can hear the sound of waves in the distance. It's tranquil, with not a person in sight. At least on the ground. Nothing has changed from the usual peaceful atmosphere of Tanegashima. On Launch Pad 1, Black 1 stands tall, set to launch in 15 minutes. It's much bigger than I expected, of course. Now that I think about it, this is the first time I've seen a rocket up close and personal. And next to it is a large black spider, rocket's guardian. There's SUMERAGI, waiting for us. And of course, a pure wine. Why wouldn't it be? It doesn't look any different from the one at the expo. At least we don't have to fight two of them. Even one is going to be tough enough. Is Mizune in there? I don't see any other people. Mizune should have a few of her terrorist comrades left, holding down the fort. Nisa must be right, and they're focused on launching the rocket. In other words, if we defeat SUMERAGI, most of our problems will be solved. I never knew that going into this, despite what Subaru said. This is a true 1v1. A classic fighting game matchup. Now then, what's our first move?
警告する。
Mizune's voice echoes throughout the launch site. Very clear.
お姉ちゃん、
それ以上進むならあなたたちを殺すわ。
Yeah, they're not holding back, and neither should we,
カイ
Kaito.
アキ、私にそんなことをさせないで。
It's too late for that.
お願い、今すぐ引き返しなさい。
嫌だよ。
Isn't happening, Misaki. Kaito shouts.
うちらはお姉ちゃんを倒しに来たの。
Both Akio and Kaito
お姉ちゃんを倒してお姉ちゃんを助けてあげるから。そんな揺さぶりはやめて。
find the end. In response to Akio, Mizune says nothing. She's not the person she once was, Akio.
アキちゃんナイス。
We have to live with that fact.
見直したぞ瀬宮妹。いや 秋穂。
She finally showing some bit of respect. We knew from the beginning that we wouldn't be able to talk things out. And much was just made clear to us once again. Our enemy is truly serious. If we don't take them out, we're dead. Which is why
俺さたぎってきちゃったよ。
Kaito is getting exhilarated from this matchup. There's already adrenaline coursing through my veins.
みんな作戦通りに。うちとスバルとアイリでスメラギのミサイルを無力化する。
Oh, that's a hope.
ミッチ、サンダーエンペラーにミサイルが当たらないようにスーパーガンツク1の影に隠れるように進んでね。
Yeah, if they target the laser empower, the laser placement, we're, yeah, that would be bad.
安全運転だ。任せろ。
Of course, both the laser and the antenna will be obvious targets.
ジュンはレーザー銃弾で給電。動きが激しくなるかもしれないけど頑張って。
Meanwhile, yeah, SUMERAGI, of course, has no, well, obvious weaknesses, but thanks to the data provided by Sawada, we should be able to hit the seemingly weaker points with the pile bunkers. If we can actually pull that off. There's a lot riding on this.
カイ、長期戦に持ち込まれるとこっちが不利になるから。
Yeah. This goes on more than it needs to with that rocket launch. You have to defeat SUMERAGI before
チャ
that
ンスは
happens.
1回だけだよ。
One chance and one chance only.
オッケー。
I stole the space candy I got from Akio before we left today. I kept it in my pocket the whole time. I take the wrapper off and pop it into my mouth. The refreshing mint flavor flows up through my nose, stimulating my brain. Combat mode. Engaged. I shut out all distractions. I focus all 5 of my senses on the monitor in front of me. And, just, on that note, give me a second there. There we go. We should be good.
みんな絶対に死んじゃダメだからね。
Fingers crossed.
作戦開始。
Indeed. Operation commence.
それじゃ対戦始めようかタジリ。ラウンド1ファイトだ。
Indeed, let's output the advance command. Speed of 2 rounds. At least I hope. Super Gunboat 1 takes a single step toward the black spider. It instantly responds, as expected. Its 6 legs shake and start to wriggle. Looks like she's ready to meet us in combat.
カイ、何があっても止まっちゃダメだよ。とにかく間合いを詰めるの。
Not that I need to be told. Sorry, but the only thing I see now is that spider Mizune is riding. You of course have to be careful with the blades. In fact, SUMERAGI is far more agile. There are the missiles. Yes, it's missile payload. A missile pod comes sliding out from the spider's torso. It really does have missiles, you think?
ミサイル来るぞ。
Super Gunbuild 1 is unarmed. If I take a direct hit, I'll get one shot. Let us down, Jonah. Nevertheless, I input the advance command. Yeah, that's a lot of missiles. They come. The missiles spew flames behind them. Mizune starts by firing too. They're heading right for me. A direct course, but
止まるかよ。
we'll keep pressing on. I continue to move forward. The moment I take another step, the two missiles suddenly change direction. The robot's frame shakes from the shockwave of the blast.
おっと。
I almost dropped my Pokemon on the floor. I break the screen and it's all over. Well, that was unexpected. As for the missiles, they collided with the wrong targets. One hit a nearby embankment, the other a building.
エーロイドデコイ有効っぽい。
So far so good.
やった！みんなどんどんタグを貼り付けちゃって。
But that only works so far as where missiles are concerned. I can tell just by looking at the screen. New geotags are being stuck in real time all over the Osaki Launch Complex. 10, 20, 30. After just a brief amount of lag, each geotag spawns a gun barrel the same size as Super Gunbuild 1. The geotags have AI annotations stuck to them, so the moment IUO reads them, it automatically recognizes them. They will only buy us some time. They're not going to be caught off guard forever. As a result, there are over 30 life-sized gun barrels swarming the Osaki Launch Complex, and they're still in use. These are our AR decoys. How do you like that, Mr. Name? I feel like we're about to get an answer to that question. Well, not a spoken answer, of course. The blast of the missile hitting a nearby embankment is almost enough to make me cower on the spot. I've never experienced this kind of heat and impact before. This thing really is a weapon meant for killing people. Yeah, there might be, what I was about to say is that there might be 30 or so gun barrel AR decoys that might be able to catch Misaki and Kokimji off guard. There is, however, one main, one main flaw is the fact that Super Gunbuild 2 is clearly visibly different from Gun Barrel. The only way around that is to have DG297 3rd edition version 4.11 actually do what happened with Gunbuild 2, which is create a sort of AR exoskeleton around as a camouflage of sorts. Yashio got hit with one of those missiles while inside of Super Gumball 1, he'd die. No, not just Yashio-kun. There's a chance a missile could chase after us and hit us too. I'm scared. But at least the missiles hit other targets. My knees are shaking. But it's not just my knees. My hands holding the laser gun now are also trembling. Yeah, that's because we're in actual combat. Our only ray of hope are the AR decoys. Right next to me, Ibu-chan and Hidaka-kun are still furiously tapping away at their Pokeballs. You should still fear something. Kojiro-san is getting amped up in the passenger seat of the truck. Yeah, we can't afford to get careless. I clenched my teeth and channeled strength into my knees in response. Yeah, you are the backbone of this operation, Jonah. If I give up now, Super Gunbuild 1 won't be able to move. I have to keep shooting this laser at the antenna on the giant robot's back. That's the duty that has been entrusted to me. A very important one. I need to see this through. We all do. I made a promise to Hidaka-kun. I told them that I'd work hard enough for both of us. So you shall. Super Gunbuild 1 continues to advance. Meanwhile, the spider still hasn't taken a single step. Yet another missile barrage. Incoming. I don't have time to determine how many missiles it actually has in its payload. More missiles. Another 2 are coming this way. Please don't hit us. Yeah, Misaki is playing this smart. She's not launching all of them at once. I pray frantically. But I don't close my eyes. It'd be a bad thing. If I close them, the laser beam will drift. Yeah, all the concentration we can get. One of the missiles hits the VAB door. The other one flies off to the lightning rod at launch pad 2 and explodes. They didn't hit us again. It's like a miracle. I want to cry, but I hold back the tears. I think that Misaki is testing our capabilities. Everyone, you're all so amazing. Glad you think so, Juna, but we're not out of the woods just yet. Exco doesn't have a history of military use HUGs, leading Hidaka-kun to theorize that SUMERAGI's missiles were acquired in the black market. Kojiro-san chimed in after that. She said that it obviously wouldn't have a missile control system, so they probably had to substitute it with something else. When she found out that SUMERAGI was actually connected to IUO, we came up with this strategy. Well, so far it seems to be working.
今のスメラギの目には実物大のスカンバレルが20機とか30機とか映ってる。で、ミサイルがそのデポに 自動的に狙いを定めちゃう。
Yeah, that's our current saving grace. Of course, the person who came up with this little trick
ク
was
ロウちゃん大勝利。
Kojiro-san shouts out like she's in the middle of playing a video game. It's thanks to her that my fears have been alleviated a little bit.
これではっきりしましたね。スメラギのミサイルは画像認識誘導です。
At least we've been able to take advantage of that.
高度なことをやろうとしたのが逆にあだになったわけです。悪いねミサネ。そのクソったれなミサイルはスーパーガンツクワンには当たらない。
Now, your taunting is all well and good, Kaito, but don't go too. Yeah. Missiles aren't the only capability of SUMERAGI. As though reacting to Yashio-kun's words, the spider fires more missiles.
今度は4発。
Four this time. Yashio-kun and Mr. Nagafukata driving the Thunder Emperor behind him don't stop advancing. Everything will be okay, fingers crossed. All four missiles change direction and fly off to separate targets, almost as though they're trying to avoid us. Awesome, they missed again. We're getting close to the spider now. It's okay, we'll be okay. Just then, the sound of a massive explosion erupts from behind me. My back is struck with an intense blast in the wall of heat. That's not good. It feels like I'm about to get blown away. I almost fall out of a truck bed. My head nearly goes blank. But the teachings of my dad and grandpa during training come to mind. Act with simplicity and fortitude to bring forth great virtue. I may be weak. I may have lost all of my matches on the first round, but I can't afford to lose today. I need to be strong, use all that karate training in Junadaitoko. Go forth with simplicity and fortitude, Junadaitoko. Go. I plant my feet into the bed of the truck and take a firm stance. I twist my ankle, causing an intense pain to shoot through my leg, but I ignore it. I desperately hold on to the laser gun mount and restore my posture. Yeah, that should keep Super Gumball 2 powered. But this is only the opening salvo. I've managed to get the distance between SUMERAGI and I down to 30 meters. The blast from a missile exploding nearby had me scared I might fall over, but I'm okay. For the moment.
資料によれば、スメラギ搭載のミサイルポッドは10発。
10, huh?
それが間違いじゃなければ、残りは2発です。
Yeah, should being the operative word here.
これをしのげば、ラウンド1は俺が取ったようなもんでしょう。
Advance without fear. That being said, this is only the first round. The spider moves its legs. It takes one step back after another, trying to put more distance between us. Like hell you're getting away. After we've come so far. Super Gunbuild 1 is fast enough to keep up with the spider's movement. Advance. Input command. Do your thing, monopoles. The distance narrows. 10 meters. But she won't fire. Is she going to switch to melee combat? Perhaps. Or did she lose the will to fight after seeing all of the decoys? The answer to that question, Kaito Yasho, is not a chance. Is she saving those last 2 missiles? That could be the option. You're never gonna beat me with strats like that. Don't underestimate me, Mizune. And you shouldn't underestimate Sumeragi, Kaito. Advance. Just a few more meters and she'll be in range.
撃ってきた
That's the last 2. You fired them automatically. I'm too close.
バキ
God damn it. Yeah, didn't want to, didn't want to have to use it, but better now than never. Slow-mo away. Even though the extra reflex boost will enable us to avoid the missiles, there's only so many times we can use this ability before Kaito's body just completely shuts down. And while he's in the state, he won't be able to hear anything else, or anyone else. The flow of time suddenly slows down. The missiles keep approaching. One of them is already turning in a completely different direction. The problem is the last missile. It's too close to Super Gunbuild 2, Gunbuild 1. Even if it does, yeah, even if it does bypass us, it could explode very close. Before I'd be able to change course to one of the decoys, it will slam right into me. Damn it. The Mizune calculate this? No, I think we took a step too far. Thanks to Akio's instant response, I've managed to activate slow-mo. But considering Super Gunbuild 1 specs, I won't be able to dodge at this range. It hurts to breathe. I feel like I'm suffocating. The warmth is quickly leaving my hands and feet. Yet my head is so hot that I feel like I've burst a blood vessel. I'm so itchy that I want to tear up my skin. But even then, think, Kaito, there has to be a way out around this. How are you gonna get out of this? Find a way. I read the missile's trajectory. I expand my own awareness. I make my consciousness one with the machine, with Super Gunbuild 1. I synchronize my reality with Super Gunbuild 1's reality. It's gonna be a gamble. I wait on the timing. I have exactly 4 frames. Got the angle. Pile bunker fire. I quickly input the command. Well, that's one pile bunker. The left pile bunker begins to eject from its container. It's still slow. The normal flow of time has yet to return to the world. The robot's frame shakes as the pile bunker ejects. My body shakes violently along with it. We manage to get it in time. The tip of the pile bunker. It's a crapshoot as to whether it will hit the missile or not, and whether the impact will have an effect. And of course, as this happens, slow-mo comes to an end. And time resumes its normal course. It looked like the missile from Sumeragi scored the direct hit on Super Gunbuild 1's body. I scream at the top of my lungs, all the while trying to prevent myself from getting blown away by the blast. But I immediately see that Kai is safe through my Pokémon monitor. Yeah, he's still there. Yeah. Just imagining Kai gone was enough to make my chest feel like it would burst open. My heart is pounding. I'm glad Kai is safe, but it looks like he's in a lot of pain. And I know very well how much he suffers after an attack. That's all the missiles down. Good to know. But of course, it was a cost. At the end of Super Gunbuild 1's left power bunker has been blown to bits from stopping the missile. It's completely useless now. Not to mention there is a large gash in the frontal area, and yeah, there is also no counterweight to that remaining pile bunker. That's a problem. Akai is so close to Sumeragi that he could probably touch it. It's within the pile bunker's range. Our strategy worked. We closed the distance on Sumeragi. But at the same time, that means we're in range of its front leg blades. The AR decoys aren't going to help us from here on out. Which is, yeah. Misaki and Co probably calculated that. Kai's piloting is the only thing we can rely on at this stage of the fight. Yeah, it's been completely obliterated.
無茶しやがって。
Of course, if it hadn't intercepted the missile, both Kai and Super Gunbuild 1 would be the ones blown to smithereens.
右がまだある。
We still have an advantage.
声すごく苦しそう。
ハキちゃんがすぐ反応してくれなかったら死んでたよ。
To be honest, I didn't want to push the button. I didn't want to give Kai an attack. But if you hadn't, he wouldn't be talking to you right now. Yesterday, soon after returning from Uchigaoka Park with Irie and Nai-san, Kai gave me this weird remote control.
何これ。
敵が使ってた秘密道具ってところ。それをこっちでも使えるようにしちゃったんだ。
He said that with a mischievous grin on his face, as he showed me the inside of his backpack. At the time, I couldn't believe that Kai would go out of his way to use such a dangerous, evil weapon. But he insisted. According to him, he needed it to defeat my big sis. And that is
実戦
true.
で使えるかどうか試してみたいんだよね。そのリモコンのボタンを押すと装置が動き出すからさ、ちょっと離れたところから押してみてくれない？
カイが自分で実験台になるの？
Correct the Mondo.
そうでもしないと効果のほどがわからないでしょ？
I wasn't super okay with it, but without much of a choice, I decided to press the button. Kai had an attack. And it was clear as day that this device caused it. Kai smiled, explaining that our chances of winning just went up. Hey Kai, you've never thought of anything but winning, have you? Indeed. Other than beating Misaki in order to win, but yes. Being the best, being number one in all of Kill Ballad, in all the world, in all the land. Yeah. But this time, we're not going to, hopefully not going to have an issue, well, by that I mean we're not going to have a repeat performance of what happened with M45 at Robo 1. Let's just say that. All I wanted to do was have fun playing games with you and Big Sis. My gaze falls down to the remote control in my hands. If I keep using this, Kai's body won't hold. The more I use it, the more his life might be in danger. 2 is most likely our maximum. Kai, this is too cruel, Kai. Why would you entrust me with something like this? As Kai said, there is no one else. Just then I see SUMERAGI slowly start to raise its body. The way it has 2 front legs up makes it look like a praying mantis. This is serious, and so is Kaito.
カイ、それを食らっちゃダメ。
Again. I press the button again. Kai, how can you ask me to do this without hesitation? Because you have to. When I think about how much you're suffering, I want to break down into tears. Super Gunbuild 1 moves with amazing accuracy and speed. Almost as though it predicted the future, it dodges Sumeragi's right blade as it comes down. The spider then immediately follows up with its left leg blade. I know Kai's going to ask me again. He's going to ask me to push the button. If it comes to it, I don't want to, but thou must. Kai will die. My fingers holding the remote control tremble. The thought of Kai disappearing scares me so much that I can't help it.
ダメできないよ
I unconsciously cry out. I can't press it, but if you don't, then Kaito's chances against Sumeragi will drop dramatically. Super Gunbuild 1 fires its remaining pile bunker. With perfect timing, it hits the joint of the spider's front leg as it swings down. He did that without slow-mo? Yeah, gotta give Kaito credit for that. Kai, you're incredible. Super Gunbuild 1 takes a step back, using the force of the recoil. Sumeragi returns its legs to the ground and pursues. Not exactly the optimal situation though. Big Sis is going to kill him. He trusted you with that, Akio.
だってカイが死んじゃう
If I push the button, I'll be killing him. What should I do? After closing the distance, Sumeragi raises one front leg to the side. The blade gleams a bright golden yellow. It's not just a mere blade. Please run. But Kaito won't run. Just as I'm about to scream those words out loud. Super Gunbuild 1 takes a step towards Sumeragi. He stepped forward, not back.
信じてるからそっちも信じろ
Now or never, Akio. That's right, I made a promise. I accepted this remote control. I promised not to hesitate. Kai gave it to me because he believed in me. Back on the deck of the MF and M&A, he held my hand the entire time. Big Sis held my hand when I woke up in the hospital. I believe that Kai will be okay. That he'll save Big Sis. That he won't leave me alone and disappear. And that's because
俺が負けるわけないでしょ。俺を誰だと思ってるわけ？
Yeah, because he's Kaito Yashio, of course. You love games, you hate losing. You're the boy I always loved ever since we were kids. If I don't believe in Kai, you will. Super Gunbuild 2's power bunker shifts to a 45-degree angle. Sumeragi immediately swings its blade in an attempt to block Kai's attack. fired up. Come on, Aki. It's now or never. Grant me the courage to press this button. Believe in you. When, Kai? So long as you press the button.
Nagi!
And there it is, yeah. She put aside her hesitation and pushed the button. One more time. So for the third time in a row, Kaito is experiencing slow-mo. When she'd hesitated last time, I wasn't sure what I'd do. But she came through this time, which is what counts. Thank you, Aki-chan. I've never experienced using slow-mo 3 times in a row before. Until now, that is. It feels like there's a bomb exploded in my head. That's the sort of intense pain we're talking about here. My vision is flickering. I want to scream in agony, but my voice won't come out. Spider's blade slowly moves, looking to sweep Super Gunbuild 1's leg. After waiting 2 frames, now. Perfect timing. I predict the path of the blade approaching Super Gunbuild 1's leg and fire at the pile bunker. Hit it. Please hit it. Slowly. As though it's being sucked in. The tip of the pile bunker slams down onto the blade from above. With that, Super Gunbuild 1 has gone toe-to-toe with SUMERAGI. It's actually holding its own so far. But even then, the toll it's taking on Kaito Yashio is tremendous. The pile bunker scores a direct hit on the spider's blade. The blade shatters in 2. I wait for the pile bunker to retract again. The spider starts lifting its other blade. We're almost at 0 distance. Oh, we're almost touching. The spider's front leg will have to swing at a longer than normal trajectory in order to swipe me. I'll make it in time. At this range, I'm faster.
Haki!
For a 4th time. Win or lose, Kaito Yashu's body is going to be a wreck by the end of this. Yeah, he won't be able to keep this up for long. Not against Sumeragi. But then again, he doesn't have a choice. The fourth time. Which is where this episode of Let's Play Robotics Notes is going to conclude for the time being. Robotics Notes delete, and when we return, the battle between Super Gunbuild 1 and Sumeragi continues. As always, until next we meet.